Hey, welcome back. Hey, I got a little time today. I got to get 2 race bikes serviced before the weekend, and they're filthy. One, I got to do some work on the exhaust. My bracket that holds my exhaust pipe up, made a couple laps with it, noticed it wasn't running right. So I was like, well, let me pull it back in and take a look at it. Luckily, it was just hot laps. Brought it back in, and my exhaust bracket broke. Go figure. So luckily had a backup bike with me. Always take 2 bikes, and but I really wanted to run the green one and give it a good full sending, and that didn't happen. So I got to get that fixed. And the other filthy rascal over here, look at that poor thing. Lighting's kind of crappy, sunlight shining on it. Anyway, I run the dog snot out of that. If you didn't see my last video, make sure and check it out. We were at the Texas Tornado boot camp, and that poor thing needs to be gone through bad. I've been running the same motor. All I do is change the oil and clean the air filter in it. And I've run the dog snot out of that thing for several years now. So that just tells you, build them right the first time. Take your time doing one. They'll hold up. Knock on wood. Anyway, so I gotta get that one serviced. Got to get this one fixed and check everything over. I usually check over every nut and bolt, cable, pull rope, everything. So when I get there, all I gotta do is throw gas in it and let her eat. But anyway, I got a few minutes. Now I'm gonna try and throw a few parts on this here ARCO that's getting covered in dust already. The motor's sitting on the table over there. It's done, got the gas tank and all that good stuff on it. Did a little something to my kill switch, so I got it drying. I'll show you that later. But so what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna try and attempt to at least get the front end put together, put it on. Got the fender, some hardware. We're gonna put stainless hardware on it because it's kind of shiny, won't rust, and that's what I had. So the fenders, I just basically cleaned them real good with an SOS pad, which some people say you're supposed to, some people say you're not, but since I wasn't gonna send these out to re-chrome, they're not too bad. This one's kind of got some pretty good scratches in it if you can see it, but it'd be all right. This is something that's real easy just to unbolt, and I can have chromed later down the road. I'm trying to work on some other parts to get to a chromer. Anyway, so what we're gonna do today is at least try and get the fenders on it. Maybe if everything goes good and I don't pass out, we can maybe get it in a roller. So let me get this set up, get some other parts lined up, and see what we can start throwing together. All right, let's go ahead and see. This is front fender. Let's set that over there out of the way. This is the back fender, and I had to go back and look and see which way it went on in relation to how I took it off the bike. We had more hanging off the back than we did the front. So we're gonna use a couple flat washers, and I'm just using 1/4 because that's kind of what was in it, and that's what fits the holes. And we'll put some flat washers on the back, block washers. I think we'll be good to go. Try and put it back together without scratching everything up. Get a flat washer, lock washer. There we go. We need let's see, lock washer, flat washer, and a nut. Sure be nice if these things were pretty shiny chrome, but like I said, I'm trying to work on me a source of finding a chromer. My town, there is no place that does chrome. The next closest town's like 120 something miles away, and I've had some stuff chromed when I did the muscle mini bike build off on my Bonanza. I think that's in my intro. It's a green chopper, 68, 69. It's a CR 500, I think. Don't quote me. But anyway, I had some parts chromed for that bike, and just to have the sissy bar re-chromed and the fan shroud and the starter housing, the pull start, was like $600 to have those 3 things chromed. Ridiculous. So anyway, enough rambling with that. Let's see if we can get the front neck. I'm gonna go find the front neck bolt and bushings and all this stuff. I'm gonna go find the bolt for that. Let's get the front end on next. All right, we're gonna get this front end on here. And when I mocked everything up, I mocked it up where I didn't have any squeaks. So I got a little shim that's gonna go, aluminum shim that's gonna go on top. Polyurethane washer on the very top nut so it doesn't scratch paint. Then I got a thin polyurethane that's gonna go on the bottom of the tree. So this is gonna be fun. Then I got another one that's going on the bottom with the nut. So this is gonna be fun trying to get it in here without scratching it. So I probably ought to put something over the top of this right quick. Let's just throw this right up here. Maybe I can keep from scratching stuff. All right, got the polyurethane on the top. This is gonna go a little shim right on top. I did all this so everything would be nice and tight and not squeaky and rattly, and try to keep from scratching the paint up. So now I gotta hold this just right, get the neck bolt in without scratching something, and snake this one down inside here without scratching it. Come on, there we go. Oh, we're close. Where's the bolt? Get in there. Oh, I see it. Bingo! All right, look at that. Shouldn't be no squeaking, nice and tight. Now, this fender here, move this here back a little bit so we don't knock it off in the floor. There we go. Neck bolt actually goes through the top hole. Then you got another little hole here that I guess supports it from getting whompy jaw. So we're gonna make that right up in there. And I got a polyurethane that's gonna go on the bottom so it won't scratch nothing. Then I got a polyurethane lock nut to hold the neck into place. We'll get this started. All right, that looks good. Let it hang right there. Then I'm gonna grab a cord of 20 and some washers, lock nut. We'll go ahead and get this mounted right here if the hole lines up. Oh, need to put a washer on it. I probably ought to put a polyurethane on this so it doesn't scratch it. What do you think? I think it'll be all right. I'll tighten it real good from the bottom. Try not to move it on top, scratch the paint. Got a flat washer and put a lock washer and a nut down here. All right. That ought to be good. Let's go ahead and tighten that quarter 20 one up. See if I can tighten it from the bottom and just hold it on the top. This fender brace was pretty beat up, had a crack in it, so I had to get all that welded back up and get it daubed somewhat straight. The best I could, had a big old crack in the back. It was all dirt daubed, but I think that'll go good. We'll leave that right there. Let's go ahead and tighten up this neck bolt without scratching anything, hopefully. I think I cut it long enough, I hope. Yeah. All right, we ought to be in business. Nice and tight, no slack in it, no wobbly. I probably need to put me some stuff right here on the back of the neck so when you turn it all the way, it doesn't, scratch the frame. So I'll put a little piece of rubber strip right on this back side. Let's go ahead and grab the front fender and get it on. Same thing, we're gonna grab some washers, lock nuts. I got enough here. I think I got enough. Let's see what we got. We got 2 bolts. We need 4 washers. Somebody can't count, or did I move them somewhere? They're probably underneath the bike. That's usually how it goes, stuck to something. All right, so we got 2 bolts, 2 nuts. So we need another flat and a lock washer. All right. think we got it all right here. Yep, think so. Go ahead and put this on here and get it all done so I can just grab it. And this went just like so. Hopefully I'll probably have to tweak it a little bit, but it'd be all right. Put that there. Hold it without dropping it. Where's the lock nut? Here we go. It's a flat washer, lock washer. All right, that ought to stay. Same thing at the back. Get it lined up here. There we go. There's a flat lock washer and a nut. Right, let's get these tightened up. Starting to come together. I think the green and the black look pretty good with a little bit of chrome. Nothing too fancy. We can just keep from scratching it. All right, we're in business. Looks pretty good. All right, let's see what else we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and put some tubing on the back of this neck right now. Might go ahead and just tape this rag. No, we'll just tape this rag up right here and just leave that for right now so we don't scratch nothing. Let's see what else we can get. We'll go ahead and get the, let's get the wheels. See if we can get the wheels, get those mocked up, and maybe get the front end on it. All right, we'll go ahead and get the rear wheel assembly done. Get the sprocket on. Got the hub here. Now on the back side, it's going to be a recessed spot where your lock nut, these are a polyurethane lock nut, will go on the back side. So kind of have to sneak it in there with your finger and just hold it into place, and it won't turn because of it's got an octagon spot in it to hold it into place. So I'll sneak that in there, trying to get my fingers in here. Let's see, got the right holes. Line up your hole pattern because it is a multi-pattern. So that looks like the right set. So drop the bolt down in here. Just hold it with my finger from the back side. Get that one started. Then we can let it drop. Now as we go to tighten them up, I'll just pull it up with my finger. We'll do the same thing. See how many times we're going to drop it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Did it go? Sure enough. All right, we got one more. Nut from the back side. Get in there. Knew I'd drop it. And dropped it again. Third time will be the charm, right? Bingo. Like socks on a fanny rooster. All right, we'll get these tightened up. Just a 1/2 inch ratchet. Just gonna pull that up to make sure that that nut stays in its slot in the back of the rim half. I'm gonna get it pretty snug. That's kind of snug. Then I'm gonna go to each one of them, tighten them up evenly. So, I mean, it's a good fit, but I'm just gonna tighten them up evenly. A little more. All right, it's kind of snug. This last one. Get that nut in there. There we go. Is it in there? Yeah. Scratch my powder coat all up. That's about 25 foot-pounds. Oh, that's 30. Elbow just popped. All right, cool. That's all on there. Like I said, those nuts just kind of really probably can't see from the camera, but there's an octagon slot in the back side of the other rim half, and that's what the nut fits in. So once you got it lined up in there, you can tighten it down. You don't have to worry about it spinning. They're all in there real good. So now let's grab a sprocket. And like what I did to this was red anodized. This is Go Power Sports sprocket. And I basically soaked it in some degreaser for about 30 minutes, and that oxidization just started coming off. So I lightly hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad to get it all off. And then that side's kind of dull. This side's kind of shiny. Woo! I just hit it with the little mothers. Put a little bling on it. And we're just gonna go along, put some quarter 20s in it with block nuts on the back side. Well, I just throw that one on the floor. There we go. Fingers don't want to work today at all. Done smashed them up too many times. Let's see. We need 3 in each side. This one back here. One more. All right, and guess that might be a good time to tell you, whenever you do a split sprocket, there is a correct way and a wrong way to put your sprockets on. Both sprockets are mated whenever they're machined or made in a press, however they make it. They actually will stamp, see if I can zoom in on this. This is a 62. They'll stamp a 60, 70, 80, whatever your sprocket number is, will be stamped right here. And then in one end or the other, like this end, has a real small, probably can't zoom in on it, but you'll see a real small little bitty line right here in the edge. And it's gonna be on the same side as your sprocket number. Now you need to make sure whenever your other sprocket, which I could have showed you when I put this one on there, but you'll have, the other sprocket will have the same corresponding line. So you need to make sure whenever you put your sprockets on, whether you wanna put your numbers facing in or out. Well, a lot of times I have them facing on the downside, so nobody knows what sprocket size you're running. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, in this particular case, I'm putting the sprocket number and the line are both gonna be facing in towards the drum. You got a nice smoother look. But, so keep that in mind when you put your sprocket on. If you put one of these on and you get the, let's say the Go Power Sports split sprocket hub that these fit on, you put everything together and your chain is like binding and popping and you're wondering what in the world is going on, you just put a new sprocket and everything on. Double check this. Make sure that on the end of your sprocket that both of your lines are on the same side. So if you have one facing up and the other one's facing down, you will have sprocket alignment and chain alignment problems. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and get this other side on here. And get these bolts, I'll get these started, these nuts started, and see if we can go ahead and go find the axle bolt and the rear spacers and maybe get the rear end done. Then we can see what else we can find that's laying around that I can get done. Still waiting on my seat guy to give me a call, so I can't put the back suspension on just yet. That ain't no big deal. That won't take too long to put on. We can probably leave that to very last anyway. All right, I'm gonna get these tightened up, find the axle bolts, or axle bolt and spacers, and we're gonna get this puppy put on. All right, well, let's see if we can snake this back wheel and axle and everything in here and just get it mocked up. Got my wheel spacers and got my axle bolt. I'm gonna put a polyurethane right behind the nut, and then I'm also gonna put another one on the other side. So let's see if we can get it in here without dropping it all over the place. Slow and easy. That brake's probably gonna be right in the way, I bet. Let's try it anyway. All right, I'm gonna set this tire right to the side. I bet that brake's gonna hit it. Yeah, might have to move that. let's see, what are we gonna do? Is it gonna hit? Yeah. All right, well, give me a second, let's relocate the frame. All right, let's see, now we got that. Might have enough room, let's take a gander at it. And just kind of roll it into place. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. We just take it slow and easy. I'm gonna go ahead and put this right on the edge of here so I can sneak the wheel and spacer up in here. Slide the spacer on the end of the axle. Get her in the bearing. Probably help if I could see what I was doing. There we go. Easy. Got it coming out the other side. Grab my other spacer. Got it. I know y'all probably can't see nothing I'm doing because I can barely see what I'm doing. Gonna hold the wheel up. Get the axle through the spacer. Just like so. Then through the frame. Right about there. Bingo. All right. Put my polyurethane on there. We're just going to start the nut. All right. Looks like it wants to fall. Sit right there. All right. Brakes rubbing. I need to still get my return spring on, but yeah. Let's tilt it back. That looks pretty good. Let's see what this side looks like. Oh. Yeah. Can't really spin the wheel. My brake is rubbing against it, but you get the gist of it. I think it's gonna look pretty snazzy. All right, let me see what I can grab and we maybe get the front forks on tonight. And then we'll have us a roller. Let me see if I can go gather up those parts. Stand by. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw the front end on, but I was gonna show y'all real quick how these springs turned out. They still have not really rust on them, but it's like where the stuff that I use, which I'm fixing to show you, they come out extremely clean, because if you go back and look at the first part of the video, they were really, really, really bad. I thought I was gonna have to sandblast them and just like powder coat them chrome. But the stuff I use is this stuff here. I picked it up at auto parts store, Western Auto or somewhere. Basically just, I soaked them in a little Tupperware dish for, I guess overnight, pulled them off, or pulled them out, and rinsed them off because they had like a yellow film on them. Didn't scrub them with anything ahead of time. I just got them clean with a pressure washer. But anyway, they come out pretty doggone clean. But some of it still got a real nice, pretty chrome on it, and then some spots it's the chrome is completely gone. But there again, chrome an issue. If I had somebody local that could chrome them, I would do the fenders and shock or the springs and have it like brand new. But for what we're doing, I think it'll be just fine. It's gonna be out of the weather for the rest of its life. Probably end up sitting in my showroom. But anyway, just thought I'd show y'all this stuff here. I picked it up. It was, I don't know how much it was for this small deal. This is like, this is a quart. I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks or something. It says I run it back through a paint strainer before I stuck it back in here, but they said, you know, you could reuse it or whatnot. But you got some rusty stuff. Stuff works pretty doggone good, so give it a try. Set that out of the way. All right, so what we're gonna do on these here springs, obviously this tube is gonna telescope up and down whenever you got the springs put in it. So obviously it's gonna wear the paint off of it eventually. But what I'll do on the inside, I went through with my wire brush deal. I showed y'all that before. I got these honed out and got them blown out real good. And then when I sandblasted everything, I sandblasted and got it real good and clean. So usually what I do is take a little red spray grease, white spray grease, whatever you want. And I just kind of hose the whole inside of this tube, just like so. Trying to keep it from spraying everywhere. Give me a good, get a good coat down in that tube on both of them. And it ought to work. Set that over here. Now on your spring, basically all you're gonna do is your pockets that are up here. See if we can zoom in over here when we show you. Your pocket, tilt you down a little bit. This is your spring pocket, and it's got a little tab right here on each one of them, top, bottom, left, right. They all have this little tab. So basically, I'm gonna ease this spring right up here just like so, and you'll get it started in there, and basically just roll that spring around till it basically bottoms out in the pocket, and that's what holds your spring in there. Same thing on your bottom. Let's see, you got the little catch right there, and you're just gonna turn it in and walk this right up the spring till it locks into place, and of course you'll have it left or right with your bottom tab hanging in or out, which these go outward like that. So you got one of these old bikes, and they can be really tricky if they've been sitting. I got a cat over there, it's the same way. So if you get one of these old bikes, best thing to do is fill this whole area up with like PB blast or some kind of penetrant oil, whatever, and just keep hosing the fire out of it and let it soak in there. And these actually had to take a pair of channel locks to the spring and to the housing to get them to break loose. So they can be, old bike been sitting out in the weather, can be kind of froze up. These were really froze up, but I was able to get them out. So I'm gonna just push this up in there, walk it around, just like so till it stops. And we'll do the same thing over here. Give it a little pressure. Sometimes I'll flip these springs around. They seem to have a different bend and want to grab a little bit easier. Just like so. And that bottoms out. Now we're going to do the same thing with the bottom spring pocket. And then I'm going to turn it until I get my relation, because this is how it's going to be on the bike. Spacer and the wheel will be on this side. Let's see, where does it start at? I can't see it. There we go. Just like so. Push it down and twist it around a little bit. And give it one more turn. Right there. There we go. Same thing on this side. Woo, I got some grease in there. Get it to hook right in this edge right here. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. There we go. All right. I think we're back in business, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. All right, let me go get the front wheel, spacers, axle bolt, and let's make a roller. All right, I got my powder coated axle spacers that I made. Got an axle bolt, my nut. Need to grab a couple polyurethanes. Where did I set those at? Lost them. These right ones. There we go, found them. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide me one down on here. I'll say that, there we go. All right, then we'll put this one on the other side where the nut goes. And I'm gonna have my tire spun around. Let me get this camera backed up so we don't end up on the floor. I'm gonna put my valve stem facing towards the left side, so if it's on the kickstand, your bike will be leaning over. It'll be easy to get to your valve stem if you gotta put air in it. All right, let's keep from knocking it in on the floor. Roll this right up here. I made these kind of tight, so we'll see how everything goes back together. Powder coat in there. All right, slide one in. A little extra powder coat inside these spacers. There we go. Get the bolt come out the back side. There she is. All right. Now I can snake this spacer up in here. That'd be pretty good, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Now we just get it through the bottom fork without scratching it. Oh, almost there. That should be it. All right. Bingo. All right, polyurethane on that side. This axle shaft I need to cut down, but we'll do that tomorrow. We got it in a roller. If I can get the nut on, there we go. All right. I need to come back later and trim this axle bolt down. I thought I already had it cut, but apparently I did not. So, there we go. Not too bad. Got a little smudge print on it. But not too bad. We'll come back tomorrow. See if we can go ahead and get the foot pegs on it. What else we're gonna do? We're gonna try and get as much done as we can tomorrow. I made a new kickstand. I copied GPS's kickstand. Found some solid rods, so I bent one, made one. I'll show you that. But I really can't put any of the seat on and the back suspension because waiting on the seat. But that ain't no big deal. We can do all that stuff last. It's pretty easy to get to. We can get the bars put on tomorrow, maybe get the power plant in it, get the chain on it, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna call this a good stopping point, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the foot pegs on. These are Go Power Sports. Part number is, let's see right there, rubber foot peg grip. Let's see, MB foot peg grip. Yeah, anyway, so they're a little long, so I just found a slot right in between that fit pretty good. Already got this one cut. I just trimmed a little down. Could have left them a little bit longer and squished it out, but last time I put them on old pegs like this, I just didn't like how it looked, so I trimmed them down. So I got one done, got the other one trimmed. Pretty easy, just kind of get it started. Of course, I powder coated these pegs, so I kind of got to get it on there and then tap her into place. It should be bottomed out. And let me get a socket and a ratchet. That one's gonna go on that side. Nut and bolt. So we're gonna use black polyurethane washers on this one. See if I can get it in here while it's on the stand. Yeah, a little quarter 20 stuff. And it's a polyurethane lock nut on the back. That way I can get it snug, but still allow the foot peg to move up and down where I want it. Of course, this block's right in my way. Watch the whole bike fall over. There we go. Alright, like the glove. I'll get the other one put on. I went ahead and found me a spring for the kickstand, got that put on, and then where this pad comes up, a lot of those scrub brakes, this thing will sit here and rattle, you know, especially if your spring is kind of too weak or whatever. I got a pretty tight one on it, but I went ahead and found some this 3M with sticky stuff on it, and it was like the perfect size. Of course, it had sticky on both sides, but I just left the paper on it. But pulled it off, stuck that underneath there, so going down the road, we ain't got no squeaky noise. All right, I'm gonna drop the other foot peg on, get that bolted up. Got a nut and bolt right here for that. And we're gonna grab the motor and get the motor put on it. All right, motor time. Let's see how many times I can bump it, scratch something up. Oh. All right. Woo-wee. It's a tight fit. Tight fit. All right, I'm gonna get this positioned around. See how it looks in there before we get all crazy with it. Oh yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Not too shabby. All right, I'm gonna get it positioned, get it lined up, maybe grab the clutch chain and see if we can get that cut. I gotta get the chain guard on it also. So let me grab all that stuff and we'll go from there. All right, I got a few more parts here gathered up we're gonna throw on it. It's getting kind of dark and I'm getting kind of tired. But we're gonna get the clutch guard. I dug around, I had this old one laying around and didn't know if I should powder coat it or leave it kind of chrome since it was kind of chrome. Match the fenders. I'm gonna see how it looks and that I always take it off later and powder coat it if I feel like it. We're gonna get this rascal put on. I think these are a 5/16 by 24. They're a fine thread bolt. To get this on first, it's a lot easier to get this on than have to fight around them to get to it once you got the clutch on. I don't know where I got this thing from. I think I bought a bunch of them a long time ago off like Amazon or eBay, probably eBay. They were pretty cheap. They're nothing fancy. Might go back later and just put a Go Power Sports chain guard on it. But I dug around, was looking for something else and seen this, and I thought, oh, hey, I don't have a clutch guard on it. So we're going with this for tonight. See how it looks. Just noticed the holes in it match the holes in the front fender. See, it's got the holes in it. So is the front fender. Yeah, I might just pull that off and powder coat it black so it matches. Oh well. We'll worry about it later. All right, we're going to install the Go Power Sports clutch. It says it right there on the front, 2200 RPM engagement. I know, make sure my shaft is good and clean. Your kit also, whenever you order one, it'll come with this little bitty baggie, which I already pulled some of the stuff out. But you'll have 2 set screws in it, which this one's only got 1 in it now. Two set screws, and you'll have your keyway. So all that'll be in this bag. So when you pull the clutch out, sometimes they're wrapped in paper. Make sure you don't drop this somewhere, because you will need it to properly install your clutch. Then you'll be wondering where all your parts are at. But I'll make sure the shaft's good and clean. And I like to put a little bit of anti-seize just lightly on the shaft. And this is spray, so I'm gonna spray it in a paper towel. And then take a little bit off the paper towel. You gotta get crazy, because this stuff right here, you look like the Tin Man once you mess with this stuff. Put a little bit on there, then I'm gonna throw this in the trash, because I'll end up wiping it on something. All right, go ahead and line the clutch up. Should be good to go. Look at that, slides on like butter. Then we're gonna come over and grab the keyway, if I can see it. Just like so. Then set screws. Where's the hole at? Got one right back here at the back. Let's see. I think I had it all the way to the edge. All right. Get this tightened down. There we go. And we should have one more hole right down here at the bottom. Oh, but put the set screw in the right way. Come on. I guess I need to roll it around where I can see it. There we go. Put it on the end of the Allen wrench. There she goes. Get these snug down. All right. Now I'm going to install the clutch bolt. Actually, on these Tilley motors, they actually come with the bolt, lock washer, and your flat washer to hold your clutch on. Pretty cool. So get this started first. There we go, that's good. And we're gonna run it down with the impact. I like it. All right, already got my chain cut. Hopefully everything jives right when I mock this thing up. I know it's gonna be close, really close, when I move the engine plate. And I know I might add some it's probably gonna have issues with some clearance on the brake deal, but I think it'll be pretty fine time the chain stretches out. I'm just gonna roll this chain around the clutch. Try not to drag it all over the painted frame. All right, and this is a RVL Gold chain. You can pick up at Go Power Sports. I run this stuff on all my race bikes, and this stuff is a very good chain. Look at that. Got a little room for adjustment because we're right on the valve cover anyway. So I'll install my master link. Probably gonna roll this up a little. Yeah, we'll just leave it right there. Got the keeper. Put the keeper on the back. And go get a pair of needle nose. We'll put this on. So looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and I'm going to get the keeper on the chain, and then I'm like I said, I'm really close right here, and I thought I might have some issues on the chain on the brake deal right here, but I was thinking time I get the motor stretched far enough forward, we might hear a little clacking noise. I think she'll be fine, but I didn't want to weld this too high, which I probably could have come up some more. But Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get the snap ring in on the chain, get the motor adjusted forward. I'm probably gonna get the bike up in the air, because what I like to do is get the bike up in the air when I'm putting the chain on. And I already had everything mocked up, so I knew where my axle shims are gonna go. I had to shim out 2 on this side, and then plus trying to keep the wheel straight. But I like to get the bike up in the air where there's no interference with the tire, so I can sit here and roll that tire around and watch where the chain tracks. You want your teeth track right in the center of it. So when you put them on, that's the way I like to do it. That way I can sit there and spin it both directions, back and forth, and make sure we ain't got no interference and everything spins. Whoa, spins nice and smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, get the motor tightened down, and we'll see where we can go from there. I do already have oil in it, but I'm gonna pull the plug out and pull the motor by hand. I usually give it about a good 10 or 15 pulls with the plug out. That way everything gets sloshed around, everything gets oiled before I do the initial fire up on it. So let me get this motor button down, and we'll go from there.